All right there, friends. We are going to make a video showing how we make beef stew. Picked up some meat. Okay, so anyway, we're going to make some beef stew if I don't keep getting spam calls that keep interrupting every single video that I try to make. You know, spam calls are very important. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't get at least 3 spam calls a day telling me that my computer's messed up or that the cops are coming to get me because I owe them back taxes or, whatever they really think sounds like a good idea. First we go and we cut the meat up. And I got myself a piece of chuck pot roast. I don't know if that's really what I was supposed to do or not, but it looked like a big meaty piece of meat. And so I thought it would do. We cut it up into little bite-sized chunks. And always understood, you throw it here into this little container over here. Always understood that you want to keep your sizes of whatever you cut up about the same so that it cooks evenly. Hopefully I don't hack off a limb while I'm doing this. It's not the easiest to cut through. It's not that hard either. No, I'm not sick. Just have allergies. Weather's been really weird. Just it gets hot, then it gets cold, then it gets hot, then it gets cold. Kind of like a bipolar individual. Or maybe somebody on menopause. I don't know. Either way. Now, normally in meat, I don't really like fat on my meat, and so I cut it off. But you don't want to do that with this kind of thing because the fat is actually what makes it good. Flavors the meat, just makes it better. You want to keep that fat on there. I mean, if it wants some of my fat, it can have it, but I don't think that's how it works. If you wanted to, you could already pick up pre-cut beef stew meat, but I didn't see any in the store today. And I just figured, you know what? I'll cut it myself. It's really not that big of a deal. I'm hoping my kids will actually eat this. I don't know if they will or not. And a lot of this stuff I've already kind of pre-prepped. I've measured out a lot of the ingredients, cut up the vegetables. This pot roast meal, beef stew, beef pot roast, whatever. I don't know. Is there a difference? Probably. Well, it didn't call for potatoes, but I like potatoes and I want potatoes in there. So I cut myself up some potatoes. We're going to have it. It's going to be great. Let's take a while to cut unless you want to pay somebody else to do it and then they can do it. Today, I did not use my microphone, so I have no idea if you're hearing me or if I'm just going to have to put in little words that say what I was doing, which is kind of what I end up doing a lot of times because there always ends up being some issue with my audio. I have a pretty good little microphone, I thought, that hooks onto my shirt. Always looks really weird, but I don't know. Thought it worked pretty well. When it does work, it's glitchy like everything else. Things glitch. So let's see. So for this furlough, I've been taking naps. Really do enjoy that. We went over to Hermosa Beach. That was a lot of fun. And I found some really cool old photos while I was there in an antique store. Brought them home. And as soon as could possibly be done, my cat, Georgiana, decided that she wanted to vomit on top of my antique photos, which was super, super sweet of her. Luckily for me, they were all in plastic, so she didn't do any damage. But needless to say, I can't leave anything out for more than 5 minutes or somebody is destined to wreak havoc on it, some way, shape, or form. So now I like to clean. Other people, maybe they don't like to. I at least like to get it prepared because the less you have to clean up afterwards, the better. I like to clean workspace. Although, I will say that I am always told that I don't clean up as well as others. So I manage to leave like little bits of food on things sometimes. And I know I look like a hobo, but you know what? I don't care because I'm cooking and whatever. It doesn't make the flavor taste any better. So all right, so inside of here, you've got some flour, you've got salt and pepper. I already mixed it in there, and you basically just pour it on in and move it around with the tongs so that you can get it nice and coated. So now we're in the fun part. The cutting part's really boring. Fun part is the mixing. and the cooking. I'm not a huge cook, whatever. That's some people are. My daughter is. My daughter's great. She can cook up anything, really, and it's always really good. And she also makes wonderful coffees, by the way. I didn't have one today. Opted instead for fresh squeezed pomegranate juice using my pomegranate. Well, it's a juicer. It's not just for pomegranates, but whatever. All right, so do that. And we're going to carry you over here so that you can watch this portion. All right, see if you can see in the pan there. Goody. You can see it. So first we turn on our burner and I'm going to turn this on. Give it a little boil. I was making beef broth because I didn't have any beef broth. So now this says to do it in batches. I guess I'll listen to maybe 2 batches. I don't know. I need this. I want to cook it nice and good. Let it go. You want to keep the bottom oiled. You don't want to cook it too long because this is mainly to get it just kind of brown on the outside. The actual cooking part is going to happen in the handy dandy little crock-pot that we have. You do want to brown it. And I think you do it in batches too, just so that it browns a little bit more evenly. Hopefully the children enjoy eating them. I don't know. I mean, there's meat in it, so you would think, but you never know with my children. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. It's crazy, it's 3 o'clock already. I also think that the main reason for this is just to get the juices to start kind of cooking up. So I'm gonna take this over here so you can see me put it on a nice little plate there. To add a little more oil. That was my elbow popping. If you didn't know, the older you get, more weird things pop off on your body. Now I'm working with a little bit of a hobble because I managed to miss a step while I was over at the harbor, Queen Mary Dark Harbor tour. Didn't do it on purpose, but apparently these old bones ain't what they used to be. So I need to be a little more careful when I'm out and about. I don't know if you're really supposed to like move it around as much as I do. I personally like to. I don't know, makes me feel like I'm doing something. It does smell good though. I've been cooking a little bit more. Furloughs definitely got me more productive at home. I have more time to do things that I normally wouldn't be able to because I'm at work all day long, it seems like. And then when I come home, I'm tired. Right here, try not to dump it on the floor. That is a lot of meat. My beef broth going over here, onions, garlic. You can even see it. I cooked these puppies for about 1 minute, and you don't want to burn yourself because that's not fun. Maybe that's the ticket. I'd say that's about time. Now, our Crockpot we have not used in a while, unfortunately. It's been a while. And we are back. We're cooking. We're cooking with Crisco. All right. First, we want to take meat, put that in there. We want to take no, we're into different onions. There's in there. I like a lot of onions. Some people don't. Gonna have a lot of cleanup to do. And need 3 cups of that. Now we've got our potatoes and carrots. There's carrots in there. I know you don't believe me, but you'll see them. Look at that, the carrots. Now, I did not have any tomato paste, and so I Googled it, and the Google machine said that I could use ketchup. I love ketchup. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I also don't have any wine. Well, not red wine at least. I've got white wine, but I have a feeling that wouldn't do the trick. So we're just going to go wine free on this. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, we have a bowl of thyme. Put that in there. Yep. 2 bay leaves. And we have our Worcestershire sauce, which sounds like it's like the key ingredient. I don't know. But all those fun things. Stir this little guy around so it's nice and mixed. Should make a nice little batch of beef stew. A lot of meat in there, huh? I need 3 cups. Seems like a waste. And 2, and there's 3. Nice. So a little stir again. All in all, the hardest part of this was like cutting up the meat and the vegetables, but that's okay though. All right. So my favorite part is plugging this bad boy in and letting it cook while I do other things. Look, it's been a while, so I have to remember how to do this. I want high, and that said 3 hours, so we're gonna do 3 hours, and if it needs more, I will just put more in there. And then start. Ta-da! Then you just repeat it. You let it cook. Now, once you're done, you're supposed to add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch to kind of thicken it up, but we'll see if I actually have to do that or not. And we're just gonna let it cook. And we're gonna go do something else.